Dear students, today we will study about a beautiful story named An Alien Hand, which has been taken from the textbook An Alien Hand. According to this story, Tillu and his parents live on Mars. However, they do not live on the surface of the planet. They live under the surface under artificial conditions. Only some very skilled persons in special suits can go on the surface. They go with the reservoir of oxygen for important work. Tillu's father is one of them. He goes to work through a secret passage. Tillu has always been eager to go through the passage. However, he has never been allowed. One day, Tillu gets a chance. He gets hold of his father's security card and quietly he makes his way to the forbidden passage. He slips his father's magical card into the slot and the door opens. Tillu now looks forward to seeing the sun or the stars. He has never seen them before, but that was not to be. He moves hardly 10 steps when the security staff gets hold of him. He is sent back to his mother. Tillu's father decides to brief him properly. He tells Tillu that he cannot survive on the surface, as the air is too thin and the temperature too low there. So he advises not to try again to reach the surface of the planet. Tillu's father tells him that once upon a time their forefathers lived on the surface. But times changed. A slight change in the sun upset the balance of nature on the planet. First, the birds became extinct, the animals followed, the fish also died. Human beings survived because of their superior technology. They use solar energy. Some of these machines which produce solar energy are on the surface. Tillu's father belongs to a special group. It is this group's responsibility to look after these machines. He assured Tillu that he could also join the team when he grew up. His mother, however, warned him that it was not possible only if he obeyed his parents. It was possible only if he obeyed his parents. Next day, when Tilu's father went to work, he found the control room full of excitement because two spacecrafts had been seen there. So far, it had been they believed that they were alone in the solar system. Although the conference room was full to capacity, nobody was speaking a word. They waited for the president to say something. The president looked at his paper carefully. After a pause, he said that two spacecrafts are approaching their planet, while one of the two was orbiting the planet and the other was still far away. It was the president's guess that they were from the neighboring planet. Thereupon, he asked the opinion of his colleagues. Together, they had to deal with these spacecrafts. Number one was in charge of defense. He told what his reports had revealed. It was that spacecraft did not contain any living beings and it had only instruments. So he suggested that there was no need to destroy those spacecrafts. And after their landing on Mars, they could make them ineffective. Number two also agreed with the number one. He added that by destroying those spacecraft, they would only be revealing their existence. Number three also agreed with the other two. Then it was the red letter day in the Tillu's life. His father had brought him to the control room. From there, he could see the alien spacecraft on his TV screen. He looked with a great interest at a panel with the several colored buttons on it. His father told him that his pain was very important. Through its button, they had power to make the inert any part of the spacecrafts. Suddenly, there was some movement in the spacecraft. All eyes now were glued to the TV screen. And then a mechanical hand was coming out of the spacecraft. It bent and touched the soil. Everyone in the control room was watching with a great interest. Tillu pressed the red button on the panel. There was thrill whistles. His father pulled him through roughly. Then he restored the button. But the damage was done. The mechanical hand on the spacecraft had ceased. All this happening was on the Mars. On the Earth, NASA was holding a press conference. The spacecraft had come from the Earth. NASA had sent it. In the press conference, it was said that everything was well with the spacecraft, only the mechanical hands had stopped working. They, however, expressed confidence that very soon everything will be set right. And soon after this, another press conference was held. It was informed that the mechanical hand had been reactivated. Soil samples were being collected. And this was the part of the Earth's Viking mission. The scientists behind the mission were disappointed. They found no signs of life on the Earth, Mars. So I hope, children, this story is clear to you and you might have enjoyed the story. Now, if there will be any sort of the problem, you may ask me. Thank you. Stay safe. Stay healthy.